Media Molecule co-founder leaves the studio, PS5 dominates in March and Q1 sales in Europe, Ghostwire Tokyo performs quantifiably better on PS5, a quick look at Dead Island 2 reviews, all that and more in today's PlayStation news. Let's get to them. Let's start with a quick recap of the new PS Plus catalog games. Extra Deluxe and Premium users can now download Kena Bridge of Spirits, Doom Eternal, Riders Republic, Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus, Slay the Spire, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, The Evil Within, Wolfenstein The Old Blood, Bassmaster Fishing, Paradise Killer and Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Those on Deluxe and Premium also get some classics in the form of Doom 1, 2 and 3, Doom 64, and Dishonored Definitive Edition, plus 2 new trials with Disney Speedstorm and MLB The Show 23. And 2 reminders: first, over 30 games will be leaving the game catalog in May, including Spider-Man, Resident Evil, NBA 2K Playgrounds, Shenmue 3 and a lot more. And second, the time to claim all the games from the PlayStation Plus collection for PS5 is almost over, as the promotion ends on May 9th. Remember that you get to keep anything you claim from this collection while you remain sub. The next PS Plus update will be on April 26, when we'll learn about the next round of monthly games for May. What games are you playing from this new update? Share with us in the comments or vote on the poll in the community tab. Media Molecule co-founder and creative director Mark Healy announced he's leaving the studio after 17 years, where he worked as creative director on Little Big Planet 1 and 2, plus main director on Dreams. He confirmed it on Twitter, saying he decided it was time for him to fly the nest and start a new course, while being proud of playing his part and working with some truly brilliant people and a wonderfully talented community. He also said his new beginning will be a pirate adventure, one that involves making games, but it's unknown if that has some extra meaning, although some fans think he's hinting at going to Rare to work on Sea of Thieves. The news of Healy's departure comes just a week after the studio announced it will stop support for Dreams while shifting to a new game. It's unclear if that was part of his decision or if it's not related. Wishing good luck to Healy on whatever he's working on next, and hopefully we'll learn about it soon. Bungie has banned a Destiny 2 streamer after leaking Season 21 and future content shown on an internal community summit attended by some members of the online community. The studio later released an official statement on Twitter indicating they take these breaches very seriously and are taking the necessary actions to reinforce their policies with the invited members, plus future breaches like this could result in the inability to hold more summits. If you wanted more The Last of Us on HBO, you are in luck, as co-creator Craig Mazin has said the series will remain on the air beyond the upcoming Season 2 since there's more story to tell. That was during a Last of Us panel at the NAB show in Las Vegas last weekend, where he also explained their plan is to do it not just for one more season. Right now, Season 2 is expected to be around late 2024 at the earliest, covering the events of Part 2, and since Neil Druckmann has said they don't have any interest in making the series adapt beyond the story of the games, it could confirm online discussion that Part 2 will be split into 2 seasons. European sales results for March and the first quarter of 2023 are now out, and according to GameIndustry.biz, the PS5 continues to dominate alongside Hogwarts Legacy and Resident Evil 4. PS5 sales were up 500% in March compared to last year in European markets including France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, Switzerland and Portugal. Even Sony's improved stock. Overall console hardware sales were up 67% to 570,000 units during March, and PS5 also helped offset hardware declines from Nintendo Switch, whose sales are down 19%, and Xbox Series, which are down 13%. And first quarter results indicate that 1.5 million consoles have been sold in the region, a 41% increase against the same period last year. PS5 is leading the chart with a 369% year-on-year increase in sales, followed by Switch and Xbox Series, both down 18 and 10% respectively. Accessories also grew by 13% compared to last year, with the most sold being the DualSense controller. This helped bring the total tally for accessories in the quarter to 4.7 million units sold, a 5% increase versus the same quarter in 2022. Moving to games, Resident Evil 4 took the crown from Hogwarts Legacy for March with just 2 weeks of sales, but Hogwarts Legacy is easily the best-selling game of the quarter. Capcom's survival horror game failed to beat Village 2-week sales by 19% and Resident Evil 2 Remake by 11%, but easily beat RE3 by 57% and EA's Dead Space by 149%. Another match debuted in the chart was WWE 2K23 at number 8, but its first 3 weeks on sale were lower than WWE 2K22 by 28%, given 2K22 also raised interest after a 1-year hiatus of the series. All of that translates to 39 million software units sold and a drop of 11% against March last year, and it's attributed to having more high-profile games launching in the first 3 months of 2022 like Horizon, Elden Ring, Gran Turismo, and Pokémon Legend Arceus. So the wonderful sales of PS5 continue, and there's a lot ahead, including Final Fantasy XVI and Spider-Man 2. The Activision acquisition by Microsoft has now been cleared in one more country as South Africa joins the likes of Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Serbia, Chile, and Japan in approving the deal. In a statement by the South African Competition Commission, they said that the proposed transaction is unlikely to result in significant foreclosure concerns, as the parties do not have the ability and incentive to foreclose competing game distributors, particularly Sony and Nintendo. They also cited Microsoft's recent efforts to supply Call of Duty games to other platforms, therefore the transaction is unlikely to result in lessening of competition in any relevant markets. Microsoft, however, still requires approval from the main three, including US, UK, and Europe. The latter two should have the response by the end of this month, although Sony is still making efforts against the deal, as they recently lashed out at the UK CMA for switching sites. One of Sony's arguments in the Activision case has been how Microsoft could lower a game's quality on PS5, and in a weird situation, Ghostwire Tokyo launched on Xbox Series last week, and it's a PS5 that performs quantifiably better than Microsoft consoles. According to Digital Foundry analysis, the Tango Gameworks title offers lower quality ray tracing, box shadow alignments, and lower performance and resolution on Series X, while Series S is even worse. Now, I'm not bringing this up for an Xbox versus PlayStation argument, but it's certainly really interesting Tango Gameworks put the game out without optimizing for Xbox, given they are now a first-party studio, and they launched a great game in Hi-Fi Rush just a few months ago. It certainly highlights that Microsoft has not any issues with putting better content on PS5, but rather getting content out as fast as possible to justify their subscription. And in a similar way, we have seen how they are rushing Redfall. After 9 years in development limbo, Dead Island 2 is coming this Friday. Reviews are now out and the game is alright, gathering a 74 in OpenCritic with 94 reviews and a 75 with 60 reviews on Metacritic as of this recording, which puts it a little bit ahead of the first game in the series. It's not a masterpiece by any means, but depending on which reviewer you ask, it can be fun or a drag, with some praising its combat, environmental design, and brutal kills, while others felt it was dull, repetitive, and lacked creativity in its design. Will you be checking it out this Friday? Let us know in the comments. WB Games is trying to cash in on the recent success of Hogwarts Legacy and have announced Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, a fast-paced competitive multiplayer game featuring the world's most iconic magical sport. The game has been in development for several years at Unbroken Studios and will be published by Portkey Games for consoles and PC at an unspecified date. They also don't mention any pricing or free-to-play model, but the latter sounds likely. For now, WB Games is recruiting fans for playtest, and you can register on the official website, linked in the description. Another WB game that has been really successful is Mortal Kombat 11, after a Twitter user noticed the statement that the latest entry in the series has generated $500 million in life-to-date profit back in 2022. The info was posted as an achievement by former global brand manager at WB Entertainment Matt Welsh on his LinkedIn page. WB Games and NetherRealm announced Mortal Kombat 11 sold 12 million units worldwide as of July 2021, and is now believed to be around 15 million, making it the best in the franchise and largely beating other fighting games like Tekken 7, which did 10 million as of December 2022, or Street Fighter 5 with 7 million. Rumors indicate WB Games should be announcing and releasing the next entry in the fighting series this year. From one fighting game to another, it seems that Street Fighter 6 will allow fans to download whichever mode they want to play and save some SSD space. The feature was spotted on the Xbox Store page, which lists the Fighting Ground Online mode and World Tour single-player modes as separate add-ons. Capcom has not officially announced this, but it would make sense for it to be on PS5 as well, given many other games already offer you the option to prioritize single-player or multiplayer mode downloads. Everything is ready for another trip to hell this June 6 on PS4 and PS5, as Blizzard has announced that Diablo 4 has gone gold. They made the announcement as an image on Twitter this past Monday featuring the main villain, Lilith. Pre-ordering the game gives you a Lightbearer mount and a Caparison of Faith mount armor to use in the game, and each version gives you a bunch of exclusive items to use in other games like World of Warcraft and Diablo Immortal, plus the Deluxe and Ultimate Editions give you 4-day early access to the game. Ubisoft has announced the Division Day, a franchise celebration stream happening on April 20th on their Twitch channel. As part of the event, they will showcase the future of the Division with the Division 2 Year 5 roadmap and a new roguelike mode called Descent, plus a new gameplay preview for free-to-play The Division Heartland. The Division Heartland has been in closed beta for a while, so hopefully we'll get a release date. And those are the PlayStation stories for today. What are your thoughts on them? Share them in the comments below, let me know your feedback by liking or disliking this video, check out other videos you may enjoy while you're here, and consider subscribing for more on PlayStation. Thank you so much for watching, my name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hype!